Today is Saturday, August the 11th, 2018. I'm noticing my camera is doing some crazy glitching. I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
This is just showing you how excited I am about the Fallout and Smash Brothers news.
Frost, why did you catch a missing no?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
why didn't you just run away from it? Didn't you read the
He
game manuals?
he is the missing no.
Yeah, look at this. Look how crazy this is, guys.
Jeez, man. Didn't you know you're not supposed to save after you capture that thing?
Man, I don't know what's going on with this camera, but this is bad.
Fill my eyes with that double vision.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. I'm gonna try to fix this camera.
I am Mila Dragon Mom.
I guess that's true. What are you?
Apparently, I'm only HST right now. Hi.
What's an HST?
I can't think of anything clever, so I'm just gonna say hidden spike trap.
Is that like Digimon HM Reject? An HST?
Wow.
So
Who are you?
Wow.
So I'm the utility man. I think you all know me by now.
Maybe. And you're joined by Hidden Spike Trap, which I put HST as the name because I didn't know if Hidden Spike Trap would fit.
Oh, she actually already said that.
Okay. And then, of course, we have Mila here with the lovely avatar over there. How are you doing today, Mila?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Mila is, of course, Dragon Mom in our Discord server, which is linked in the description below. We've got a couple of really cool topics today. Normally we have 3, but there's so much beef. There's so much meat to the 2 topics we're going to be talking about today, which, as you can see, over past Mila, is Fallout 76 QuakeCon recap and what the utility man describes as a flood of news for Smash Brothers.
There's actually so much meat, we might find a pork chop in an old wall.
Wow.
That
You really
reference.
put that in there.
I bet you've been waiting all week to say that, haven't you?
I actually just thought of that when you said meat, but also probably because I'm hungry. Just not hungry for pork chops and walls.
Why wouldn't you be hungry for pork chops and walls? They heal you.
They do hear
Probably
you.
because I don't eat pork chops.
I do.
But do you eat walls? And the hesitation tells it all for us. And moving right along, what have you been up to this week, utility man?
More Final Fantasy IX, actually. I just got through the first disc last night. I'm liking the game. I really like the stylistic approach they went with it, and I actually feel kind of sucked into the game, like I did with games when I was younger. It's kind of nice coming off of Final Fantasy VIII. Sorry to people that like 8.
So what part, I forget now, because obviously 9 came out so long ago. What part did that first disc end at? What part in the story is that?
It ends right after Kuja's first appearance.
Okay, I know exactly where you're at. That's a fun time.
That is a fun time.
What about you, Hidden Spike Trap? What have you been up to this week?
Let's see. I guess in terms of games and stuff,
We don't talk about games and stuff here.
Oh, okay. Then I've been drawing for My Hero Academia, because anime.
Because anime.
I did beat, I guess, going back to the games and stuff, because why not? Castlevania Circle of the Moon. I just beat that. As, utility threatened my life.
How is that? I haven't played through Circle of the Moon.
I really enjoy it. Yeah, I think certain Euphoric didn't really care for the game, but it's utility's favorite, right? At least favorite handheld.
I don't know that I would say favorite. My favorite's probably Dawn of Sorrow, but Circle of the Moon's up there.
I did play
Yeah,
through
but-
Dawn of Sorrow. How does Circle of the Moon play compared to Dawn of Sorrow?
Well, basically, Circle of the Moon feels a lot more primitive.
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 Kind of like what you would expect. It's more classic Castlevania, but with the Metroidvania style than Dawn of Sorrow is. Whereas Dawn of Sorrow has like the souls that you get and all the special weapons that you get. Circle of the Moon sticks a lot more tradition. You get the whip, And then you have a card-based system, which enemies can randomly drop, and they give you various power-ups.
Card-based
I
system
thought it
for
was fun.
power-ups. I feel like we're going to be card games on motorcycles. I think we're going to be talking more about power-ups as they pertain to cards here shortly. Euphoric Fever, why do you not like Circle of the Moon? Do you guys know why Euphoric doesn't like Circle of the Moon? Like, what's the main complaint?
Ray's a loser, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Well,
it's just that simple.
his favorite's Order of Ecclesia, which it's a good game. It is, but it's certainly not without its frustration. Frustration that has nothing to do with difficulty.
Okay, I got you. So it's one of those. So is it just the case that Euphoric was really bad at it and just automatically hated it because of that?
Say, I don't know. I didn't have too much trouble with it.
She beat it, so how difficult can it be?
I mean, there were a couple bosses that took me a little bit, but it I beat it. Also, fuck you.
I was talking about your favorite handheld one, Ray. I know Super 4 is your favorite overall.
So what about you, Mila, aka Dragon Mom in our server? I always have to say all the different names. If I named everything you went by, I think the show would be like over before we knew it.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be here.
So what have you been up to this week, Mila?
Playing some World of Warcraft, some Final Fantasy 14. Completely ignored the Warframe event.
What were
The Acolytes are back.
the Acolytes are back again?
Yup, and they dropped these rare mods that are completely going to be useless when the Melee rework comes out.
Are they still dropping the same rare mods they always have, or is it like a new set?
Argon Scope, Naming Strike,
Okay,
all
yeah.
the delicious stuff.
Meme Strike. Yeah, I got a couple of those from last time, I think. Maybe I did.
But I just completely ignored the event because I was just like, yeah, I've done everything.
Now, you said that you're playing Warcraft, World of Warcraft. Is this your first time actually jumping in the game, or do you have a history with it?
I played it before, but I didn't really get into it as much as I kind of am now. I mean, I have a 56 warrior, but I really wanted to say I wasn't playing it then. I was kind of just being, led along with breadcrumbs by somebody.
Okay, so you're just kind of pittering around a bit.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it, though? I mean, it sounds like you're having a good time with it.
Oh, yeah, as a frost mage, it's great.
Oh, as a frost mage. I like how you have to qualify the sentence, Like, as a frost mage.
And a warlock, it's very fun.
Okay, I'll give you the Warlock. I did have a lot of fun playing Warlock back in the day. Except, you know what you can't do that I could, Mila?
What?
Get the legitimate Warlock mount as it was released in the long quest chain to summon and subdue it.
Oh, so you couldn't just get it as your as well.
Yeah, nowadays you just level up and they're like, hey, you want a mount? All right, here you go. Here's a mount. Have fun. Warlock mount. Woo!
Here's Faustine.
Right.
Here's Faustine.
Back in my day, your reward was not a mount. Your reward was the start to an adventure to unlock said mount.
See, I would love that. That would give me something to do other than dungeons.
Yeah, I guess their data showed most players did not want to work for their rewards, and they thought questing was dumb, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I think they're playing the wrong genre then.
Exactly.
Or maybe we're just getting too old.
Well, we all know you are.
Well, this is true. I am getting very old. The camera has a reverse effect on me. It subtracts like 20 years instead of adding age. It just subtracts it. Like if you see me off camera, if you've ever seen the cover to Tales from the Crypt, that's that host is definitely me in real life.
Can confirm.
You're not supposed to confirm that. and
Well, how about double confirming?
So how about I tell you guys, and I know you guys have heard quite a bit of it, but how about I tell you how my week went?
Oh, this is fun.
So I wake up, and this is on a day I'm going to be getting ready for work earlier in the week. I wake up, my phone is dead. It's been having some internal memory problems for a while. When I bought it, it was an $800 Galaxy Note 4. And I refused to upgrade because I like having removable parts. So My phone is dead. It won't turn on. I have no way of using it. That's my only communication tool, really, when I'm at work. So that sucked. So I said, okay, whatever. I'll make do with the work phone. Go around the corner to get my food and stuff for work. I just walk around the corner because it's good exercise. I can't buy anything. Someone had stolen my bank information and drained my entire bank account of all the money that was in there. And so now I'm deeply in the negative, waiting for the fraud case to finish before I can even do anything with my money. So I say, okay, well, that's terrible, but I don't have time to worry about it. I need to go to work. So I get in the car and turn the key. There's no lights. There's no sound. My battery was completely dead in the car, and nothing was set to drain it, which means that there's an electrical issue with the car. So that's how the early part of my week went. And then, of course, just Minecraft, and I played some Overwatch with you later in the week. That new Overwatch event's interesting, that Lucio Ball.
Yeah, it's like you were talking about Rocket League with Lucio.
Yeah, it's Rocket League, but Lucio. It's like the best way to explain it, I think.
Yeah, and like you actually sit down and play the group for a bit. You actually go against people who actually play the game. It actually gets really fun and competitive. It's really like I actually got into it.
You actually got into it after we left?
Yeah, like I sat down, I played for a couple hours with a group of people, and we actually started getting queue times that were like 3-4 minutes long because they had to find a more quote unquote balanced game. Which means they were actually pitting us against players of our skill level.
Hold on. Let's pause real quick. Are you telling me? Because I don't want to mince words, right? I want to parse this correctly.
They were putting us against people of our skill level.
This is
Blizzard's
Blizzard.
matchmaking system was working as intended, correctly, for once in their life.
But only for Lucio Ball. So if you want balanced gameplay, you have to just like play Lucio Ball.
Yeah, you want balanced gameplay in Overwatch, play Lucio Ball.
Euphoric Fever, that parse name drop. Yeah, once upon a time when we were looking at naming shows, this was going to be the parse show. I had such a cool logo for that too. I don't want to. It was a cool logo. I'll put it like that.
Oh, you sounded so sad.
It's okay. Warp Stage 3 is a cool logo too, and it's a cool name. So
I just want to say I'm probably the only person in the world that saw Lucio Ball, thought that was some kind of name on play for Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy.
Lucy, I'm home. You got some splaining to do. Did you just do the...
I have to say that to her all the time.
That she's got some splaining. That she's got some splaining to do.
Yes. All the time.
That slap. So our topics for today, of course, Fallout 76 and Smash Brothers. I figure because you guys are going to be nomming the hours away on Smash, I figure we'll go ahead and cover Fallout first. So that's going to be the one that comes up first. Now, recently, Todd Howard and crew went at QuakeCon 2018, and they revealed quite a lot of information. And so for that, what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to pull it up and I'm going to play it, and we're going to discuss some of the information that's dropped. Sound fair?
That's okay.
I guess that's fair.
And for anyone who's looking forward to it, Utility Man is the, when it comes to Fallout, is probably more of a skeptic than even I am at this point. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say. The very first clip is going to be talking about when you first get out of the vault.
And we thought we would show you first here at QuakeCon the one that deals with perks. So we can roll it.
Nice little educational thing when you first get out.
Okay, so we're not hearing that.
Yeah, you're not going to hear it.
Okay, I thought it was something wrong with her ears for a moment.
Being a better you.
But we'll recap it.
We must each deal with the hand we are dealt.
point.
performing our assigned role to the best of our
That's the best job, isn't it?
But after total atomic annihilation, you may find the hand you were dealt has been reshuffled. Yes, gone are the simple days of yesteryear. Now the common workman must also be a covert operative. The farmer, a master of the martial arts. The ice cream man.
That ice cream.
Physicist.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How will you make sense of it
So
all?
no one's going to mention that the cow has 2 heads.
Turn
That's
to your
normal for
official
Fallout.
That's normal.
It's normal, yeah.
I don't play Fallout.
Tools in hand,
Wow.
How do I know?
learn to make the most of your natural
Well, in the first
abilities
area of New
and
Vegas,
better
it's just
understand what
Look at all them
makes you
cards.
Special. Use them to be the best you can be, or someone even better. Your survival depends on it. With your future secure, share your newfound knowledge with others for great benefit.
Yummy.
Remember, there's power in diversity. Sometimes who we are isn't a choice at all. In fact, at a particular point in your young life,
Wait,
you
that's
may
not
know
fair.
that
Those
your
3
body
opted out of
has begun going
PvP.
through certain
We'll get
unfamiliar
into it.
changes. No, it's not
They're not in the
puberty,
dark zone.
it's mutation. Thanks to our old pal radiation, your DNA has become more interesting. See here? You've now gained the unique abilities of a marsupial in exchange
Let's see,
for
creepy
mild
mutation or
neurological
convenient?
impairment.
Oh my god.
So that's what happened to the Ninja Turtles.
Now you've learned how to be a better you. You are completely prepared to achieve your full potential in the role of your choosing.
So that's what happened to Wally Coyote.
As a hand-picked resident of Vault 76, it is your duty to carefully review your Vault
Rest in peace,
provided
Val.
films yearly to fully prepare.
All right, so that little educational cartoon covered a lot. It talked about how perks are going to work, which it appears it's going to be a card system. We've got some more segments coming up, so we'll hold off on the conversation there. But the intro tutorial there, I think it did a good job of educating us. I'm interested a little bit about the mutation bits. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but it feels almost like the Fallout cartoons have kind of taken a bit of a darker turn. I mean, they've always had violence in them, but
I mean, the original ones have child killing drawings. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It feels like they've turned darker. I'm not either here nor there on it, but that's,
yeah, they obviously the animation's gotten darker. I agree with that.
like the buzzards just snipping at a dude's entrails.
Yeah, it's kind of went pure gore there.
All right, so the next segment, and this next segment we'll have some stuff to talk about afterward, is going to be talking about character creation and a feature they did in a jam.
And show you a little bit of the character creation when you first start.
It's just like what you would
Wake up in a
expect,
vault,
right?
it's
So
Reclamation
there's
Day. We have a full
Reclamation
customized
Day.
character
You
like
got
we've had
your
before.
character.
It's even better now. And
I'll just mute him and talk over it. I'll be your Todd Howard for this evening.
Do I have to buy Skyrim again, Todd?
You do, yes, on every console. Now, they've added this thing that's basically a selfie cam, and that's what they're doing here, is they're showing the selfie cam in action. And you take a picture of yourself for your... I think they mentioned license, but I assume it's probably like an avatar picture as well. All the different filters you'd come to expect in selfie software. I'm going to go ahead and pause it there. How do we feel about the selfie cam?
Hate it.
I knew you would. What about you, Hidden Spike Trap?
I think it's a little unnecessary, but I guess because it's supposed to be multiplayer, I guess it's a thing that's bound to happen.
Mila?
Why?
I'm okay with it. I don't know.
What's your view, Mila?
For me, I think it's a little extra
A little extra?
because It doesn't need all the filters. I mean, I could see them needing a license thing. Like, my name is this,
Right.
and then they pull up your thing and show up what you create your character as. Sure, that could be a thing. But I don't think they need all these filters.
So, right off the bat, I could tell you the selfie cam feature is not something I care at all about. It doesn't bother me that it's in the game. I can see some useful cases for it. You know, just like in Warframe, when I played Warframe with you, they had a really good camera setup so that you could take pictures of your character in whatever style you wanted to. So I can see how it would be beneficial to some people, but I don't. Maybe it's because of my age. Yeah, but maybe it's just my age. But do you think it's just that, like, maybe I was just born past or before the age of selfies, and I just don't get it?
The thing is, technically, selfies have always been a thing. I mean, it was called, let's take a pic together. Can we take a picture? It's just nowadays you have all the mass amount of filters and stuff added to it because of technology.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. The selfie thing is neither here nor there for me, and from the way that they sell it, the way they explain it, as long as they're being honest, I can understand how it came about, because apparently it was not a planned feature. They just did what a lot of development studios do, where they have these developer jams where people just get a chance to work on whatever they want, and someone came out with this selfie cam software for the Fallout engine. They're like, all right, here's what I came up with, and like, yeah, let's put that in Fallout 76. So I'm okay with it, but I don't have a personal use for it.
I don't even like the term selfie. Like, I'm sorry, I hate that right off the bat, because the idea of taking a picture of yourself has been around for decades and decades. This did not come about because somebody said, "Oh my god, a selfie." No,
How's that go again?
Stand it.
But first, let me take a selfie.
First, let me take a selfie.
Selfie!
Oh my gosh, I can't stand this. I can't stand this being added to the game. I don't want my character to look like me. I don't want your character looking like you.
Right.
I don't want that.
Right. I don't think the selfie requires you to make the character look like you.
It doesn't require it, but I don't even like the addition of it. Not necessarily because having that additional feature is bad, but it gives more of an inclination on what audience they're targeting, and that is what bothers me.
Okay, so you're trying to, like, peek behind the curtains to see the intentions.
Yes.
That's fair. I don't think it's reason for me to be concerned. Like I said, it's just a feature I'm probably just going to ignore. So next up, they're going to show what actually happens when you first get out of the vault, and this is going to cover some of the perk system. As a note, a lot of people were talking about in the comments to this about, oh no, you're going to be able to buy perks, and to that, I don't think that's actually true. They have come out and said very clearly all their microtransactions are going to be cosmetic based and cosmetic only. Cosmetic only. We've had good discussions on that in the past, but you're not going to be able to buy power. So here's what happens when you first leave the vault. This is a level 2.
Do they have sunglasses on?
So you pick a special, you put a point into one of your special attributes, just like in previous Fallout games. And then you get cards. These cards have special point costs. So like if you have 3 in strength, you could fit 3 1-point strength cards in there, for instance. Or 1 3-point strength card in there.
I'm just going to take someone to break the system.
So let's talk about this perk setup with the special points making their return from previous games and what this means. How do we feel about all of your perks being trading cards? Any takers?
My thing is how fast are people going to break this? How fast are people going to min-max the system? How fast are people just going to make? This is my build. This is how you play the game. If you don't play this way, you're not playing the game right. How fast are people going to be that way?
I think you're right. It's probably gonna get to a cookie cutter point. Like once all the cards are known, there's going to be best builds, as there always is. I'm not opposed to the card system because Warframe. I know I mentioned to you this before the show, but Warframe uses a very similar perk system with their cards, and it's upgradable cards as you go. The higher level you are, the more cards you can fit, the stronger you can make your cards that go in there. So I'm not opposed to the card system. I will say it almost feels, and this might just be because they're not the first people to do this, but it feels kind of lazy. I mean, it's a mechanic several other game studios have used. I mean, EA's been doing card systems for I don't know how long. What was it? The Star Wars game started using a card perk system. So I'm not sure. I'm on the fence. I don't know if they're doing this because it's low work for guaranteed turnout or what the actual reason for making it cards is. I mean, it's also possible people are just so used to using cards that they're like, well, if we use cards, people are going to understand that.
Okay, so I haven't had the chance to quite look at this as extensively. So first off, it seems like every time you get a level, you get cards, right? Is it like a random set, or is it designated each level up?
So the way it works, and they're going to go into detail here in a second, but the basic way it works is I think they mentioned every 2 levels, you get a card pack, and that contains random cards, including some that might be higher level than you are, just to give you an idea of what to look forward to. So you've got your card pack that is always growing. Even at max level, you're still going to be earning new card packs. I imagine that you'd be able to trade them. I haven't seen, but I imagine you'll be able to trade them. And then your special points, those actually stop at, I believe, level 50. And you can think of your special points as like the card capacity for what you can equip.
Okay, so I guess that was the other thing. I assume we didn't know if we were going to be able to trade them yet or not.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything directly, but I can't imagine you wouldn't be able to.
And is it going to be like how, like Warframe is, you can consistently change out your cards?
Yes, you can. At any point, you can change out your cards. Just as one of the panelists said at QuakeCon, you want to make sure to do that somewhere safe because it is a live game. So while you're trading out your cards, you could be shot, for instance. And here they're showing you can combine them, which if you've played Warframe, this is a very familiar concept, combining cards to create a stronger card.
You said they replaced that with Endo, but yeah.
Yeah, they replaced it with Endo, but... So what about you, Milo? Since you've come from a game like Warframe, you're very in tune with the idea of using cards as perks. Would you say that your stance is really on the min-maxers at this point?
Mainly, I like being min-maxing most of my Warframe builds.
Right.
I mean, I do run 100%, the status on, shotguns and all this stuff. Do like doing a lot of damage and all this stuff. But for like Fallout and like role-playing like this, I would really like to see it more fleshed out. I don't want to see min-max builds. I want to see builds be as creative as they can be. I want to see, I want to see all these nice little things come out. I like seeing gimmick builds. I like seeing
Gimmick
all
builds,
these
yeah.
nice things.
And one thing about Warframe I found interesting is, most people go for the full damage, die in one hit build, and they just rely on never getting hit.
Yep.
Whereas I played in Warframe, I played a lot of, what was the name of that place in the Void? It was Moat or something. Mott, there you go. Yeah. That's where I spent most of my time when I was solo, was playing in Mott. So my build looked nothing like the mainstream builds because I was soloing Mott. So I had super high survivability where other people wouldn't have that. I'm hoping Fallout 76 has content that pushes players towards using different builds like that. Because without Mott, my character really would have like one build, and if you didn't use that, you were automatically worse off.
Yeah, pretty much.
there is still one thing that I don't know if this has been addressed yet, or we're still pretty certain there's like no NPCs, right?
Yeah, there's no human NPCs.
Then how exactly are they handling things like charisma?
So charisma, I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually about to lead into that. Charisma in a multiplayer game are essentially party cards. Like in Warframe, you know how you had the aura slot?
Yeah.
So charisma is essentially aura slot, where the vast majority of the cards in the charisma are like everyone on your party gets X. So it's a little bit more boring than, what we're used to in the concept of charisma, where charisma makes you more charismatic with narrative. Because guess what? There's no narrative. Big surprise, I know, for anyone who hasn't heard anything about Fallout 76, but there's no NPCs, so there's no reason to have charisma for speech checks or anything crazy like that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, indeed.
I love just maxing out my charisma just doing shit.
Yeah, I always had high speech. I always had high speech and high lock picking.
Barter.
I didn't. I didn't mess with bartering. Like in 4, I didn't mess with bartering because I just set up tons of shops at my outpost.
Well, in New Vegas, if you maxed out your barter, you got more speech challenges checks that way.
Yep, this is true. In New Vegas, I did have a character that was high on barter. You're right. So, how do you feel about them providing? They mention, and I'll just have this playing in the background while we go. But they mention that in some of the packs, you're going to be getting higher tier cards. And there's two aspects to that I want to touch on, because on one hand, there's the very genuine approach that it means you get to plan towards a future build maybe you weren't expecting. But on the other, it's got to have psychology behind it, right? Like, oh, look at this new card I can't use for 2-3 more levels. I guess I should stay up all night leveling. You know what I mean? Like, it's got that psychological draw to it.
What if they just give you a card you can't even use that's
okay, so
build?
So you can see here, yeah, that's true. You can see here exactly how opening the perk packs are. You get gum and a nice little, I thought that was a nice touch. You get a stick of gum that actually works towards hunger and a little joke inside of each pack. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's like the old school baseball. I don't know if you guys were around for it, but baseball trading cards you could sometimes get with a stick of gum and a joke. It's kind of a throwback to that. So, let's talk about what's next. Some examples of perks and mutations. So mutations appear to be, once you get a certain level of rads, you can mutate. And that changes your character's, I imagine, changes your character's appearance and gives you like trade-off perks. And I'm actually going to have the audio on for this, and I'll just talk about it after.
It's a little relative, so it's not super pinpointy, but you'll know generally where they are. So I'm sneaking, because when you sneak in our game, your appearance on the map disappears, no matter what state you're in, except for wanted. So my pip doesn't appear, and I'm sneaking, so I see him in a building, and I see him moving around, and he comes wandering out, and I took his head off with my sniper rifle. And he drops down, I go running up, I loot his junk, I dance, took a picture over his corpse, and logged off.
I feel like maybe I have this mistimestamped.
So, what happens when you die, though?
Yeah, that's mistimestamped. So anyway, some of the perks you can get, one of them, for instance, will let you jump super high at the cost of carry capacity or strength or intellect or things like that. So all the mutation perks, as it were. So that's a strange system. It's almost solves the same thing as the perk cards does, but it gives you that trade-off. I know in Warframe we had some of those cards that's like, hey, you could do this, but you lose accuracy or something along those lines. So I wonder how big of a mechanic that's going to be. How many people are actually going to like revolve builds? Right, like revolve builds around them. Like, could you imagine, I don't know, maybe like a heavy weapons build or an explosive build that has a mutation that lets you jump super high so that you can just like carpet bomb people with RPGs.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm always the first to dive head first inside the radiation field. Alright.
What do you guys feel about the mutations? Utility Man, Hidden Spike Trap. I see they're tossing the mouse around.
I don't know. It's certainly interesting. I wonder. I guess at the moment I'm wondering how many different types of mutations there are. Like, what's the chance of getting so many, and like, can you further mutate? Like, is it get like a level up mutation kind of thing? Like, if you can continue mutating along this path, does it get like does your strengths get stronger and the weaknesses get weaker? I don't know.
Like a Pokemon evolve.
Yeah, sort of, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a lot of information on mutations. We know they exist. We now know that they typically give you a perk at the cost of something else. They seem to be very gameplay oriented rather than just straight stat changes. They appear to be gameplay oriented, like jumping high or perhaps moving faster. But beyond that, we don't really have a lot of information about that. And hello, Southern Songbird. Southern Songbird. Hello, Southern Songbird. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again.
Rachel.
AKA
Rachel.
Yep. You're right. So, next up at 4323, they go over the beta. Because, a lot of people are curious what's going on with the beta.
Now, you guys want to play, am I right?
As we know, it was delayed until October.
Why can't you let them play any sooner, Todd?
There's a lot of chatter.
I'll pack up my stuff.
Look, we want everybody to play it as soon as possible. We're playing it now. There's a lot we have to do, right? There's things that
he's
that
doing
we
the
know we
typical
need to
response
change,
here
and
of
fix
there's a lot of
before
stuff
we
to
get it in
fix, a lot of
everybody's
stuff to
hands.
get working
And the other
first.
thing is, even though people are going to start playing the beta in October, this
They got
is a
Fort
game
Skyrim
that
to
we're going to
7
be
more
constantly
seasons,
updating.
guys.
So everybody's
Don't worry about it.
feedback
Yeah.
is really, really important to us. The beta for us, this is an all new thing, right? So we need to stress test a lot of systems, and that's why we called it the Break It Early test application.
Break It Early
'cause it's
test
gonna break.
application.
We're pretty sure of that. And
So right there, and this is kind of how that segment continues. He says, this is going to break. We're quite sure of that. And he continues on in a very smart way. There's really nothing better he could say. Because as we all know, when new games come out, launch day is always highly contested. A lot of people are very angry. And he just comes out and says it right off the bat. He goes into it and says, the game's going to launch. It's all going to go to crap. And we're going to work as fast as we can to fix it. That's the expectation he's setting now. And on one hand, yes, he's talking for a company. He's making his company sound bad, blah, blah, blah. I think that is one of the wisest things you could do, knowing you're about to launch a game that a lot of people are going to be trying to log in on day one. Just tell them right out of the gate, guys, it's going to crash. It's going to be terrible. You're not going to be able to get online. It's going to be a horrible experience, and we're all going to go through it together.
He's just getting his bases covered.
Yeah, he's getting his bases covered. That is what you call protecting an asset, right there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The word.
Like, think back to another really bad game launch, right? Like Diablo 3. When Diablo 3 launched, how many times did you see the internet flooded? Like, oh, we can't get on, this error message. Blizzard's the worst company ever. What if in the month leading up, Blizzard's like, look, we got a new game coming out. We got new servers. We don't expect this to go smoothly, but we're going to do everything we can to fix it and really set that expectation. I guarantee you the complaints would have been a lot lower, because then people would say, well, they did say it was going to happen.
They would probably be a lot less, but they would also be, well, they had time to prepare. So you'd have those people as well.
What do you think? What do you think, Utility Man?
I think there's one major difference between Blizzard Games and 76 as far as that's concerned.
What's that?
That's the fact that for Fallout 76, the frustration is not going to come when the servers are down. It's going to come when the servers are up and people can play.
Oh,
Oh,
shots fired.
That smug look on his face.
oh, I have that same smug look on my face.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Okay, there's your screen
Really?
cap.
Really?
Screen cap material right there. We're gonna have to remember to grab that after the show, I think. So now we're gonna get into the part of the QuakeCon conversation that Utility Man was about to rant on a little bit before the show, and that's gonna be PvP.
Is this when we switch from Fallout 4 to 76?
Are we all soldiers now?
I was just wondering, since apparently up to this point we've been talking about Fallout 4 because it's in our title.
Oh my god.
Can we change that? Can one of you guys change that? I guess I could change it. Wonder why it says Fallout 4 in the title. You guys should
We
have
know
told
it
me
was
sooner.
really on your mind.
You should have told us sooner. Yeah, it was a subliminal thing. Like inside, I just secretly wanted Fallout 4 to come back.
You were thinking about going to help a new settlement. We know.
And yeah, Ray did actually mention it, but I didn't get a chance to say. We didn't get a chance to say anything to you.
No, we just didn't want to say it when Ray mentioned it.
All right.
It is Ray after all.
There we go. It should be updated now. Should be updated now. All right, so where were we? Right, we're going to be talking about some PvP. So I'm going to go back and give it off to Todd Howard.
Get ready, and so
46,
it's really we need
10,
to make sure
about.
we're ready. All right, we will do our best to sort of explain where we're coming from with PvP. We agree with those. Like we have folks in the office. We have that debate. You know, is it a what is it? Where do we want the players kind of driving force? Is it a PvE world thing? Is it the other players? And for us, it is both. How can we do both? And so the first thing
He's talking about right now
that
balancing out the
we
PvE
want
and the
this element
PvP.
of danger. It sounds weird to say without griefing, which is like, okay, those things are often in conflict. So right now, and you've seen it
Danger
in some of the
versus
E3
griefing.
videos, when you shoot somebody, you do a little bit of damage. You don't do full damage. It's like an It's like slapping somebody in a bar.
All right, so what he's going over right there is something called the slapping mechanic, is what they're kind of panning it as. This is such a strange mechanic. So apparently the way it works, when you first attack somebody, your damage is like almost nothing. No matter what you're doing, your damage is just like pff, pff, pff. Shoot a rocket pff, is nothing. It's nothing. And the only time it classifies as a real encounter is if that person attacks you back. And then damage goes up to normal PvP scaling. If they don't, and you kill them, going pff, 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 piddly damage until they die, you become marked as a murderer. All the other players become invisible to you on the map, but everyone can see you, and then a bounty is placed on your head, of which, if someone kills you, it is your caps that the reward comes from. So I think that's an interesting mechanic, but I don't know how I feel about the slapping mechanic. That seems really like a strange way to balance PvP out.
I'm not a fan.
See, I just run around broke shooting everyone. What do I care? I've got nothing to lose. They can't take anything from me.
See, that is true, but you'd be doing like no damage to them.
I don't care. If I'm going to play the game, I'd play it for the PvP. If they're going to tell me, sorry, you can only PvP when the other players let you PvP, I'm going to do it anyway.
See, and that's the thing. Like, Fallout is a universe full of people who shoot people just because they want to shoot. There are people who are evil just for the sake of being evil to survive.
Yep.
And that's not what they're trying to do in this game.
Well, I think it goes back to what we were talking about in Discord earlier. It's they're trying to please so many different people at once. ultimately that's what it comes down to is they're trying to please so many different people that they risk. And I'm not saying it's the case. I'm trying to be optimistic about it as much as possible, especially because we're going to be playing this game as a group. But it seems like they're just trying to please way too many people. You got PvP on one end, and what do the PvPers like? They like the back and forth. They like the competitive nature. And sure, some people just like to grieve, but that's whatever. And then you have your PvE players who don't want anything to do with that. And so they're giving tools to both, but what the tools are doing is basically saying the other person cannot play the way they want to play. It's a gameplay shutoff rather than a gameplay enabler. That's my take on it.
I honestly outright don't like that mechanic for a couple of reasons. One, at the very least, I don't know if this is going to be the case or not. Let certain, servers, because I assume you can play on, which is what I assume we intend to do, just play in a small server where it's just going to be a small group of us, right?
Well, the only thing they've talked about the live servers is that there's going to be between 12 to 24 people per server. They haven't talked about server game modes. Now, if they had like a PvP server versus a PvE server, I think that would be a much better situation than sitting here trying to fiddle around with a bar of soap to balance out like slap mechanics.
Right, that's kind of what I would have hoped for them to do, because this, especially when it comes to something like Fallout, it's like there's you take out the element of surprise, which is something Utility and I were talking about a little bit before the stream. Like, it completely ruined, like, if you're actually doing PvP, even if the other person is okay with doing PvP and, accepts your challenge, you just totally got screwed. It's like, I actually managed to sneak up on somebody, but I have no reward for that. It's like, I have my damage shafted, like, especially if I was like a sniper or something. It's like my damage is completely shafted. They now have a good idea of where I am, and they have to attack me first, meaning they will find me before I can actually engage in proper combat. It's like that's
a very fair point.
Against part of what Fallout is, like, even against, like, non-human players. It's just like, it's kind of just baffling to me.
That's a fair point. It basically, the mechanic locks out any kind of stealth PvP in general, because they have to fight you back, and to do that they have to know where you're at to swing at you. And so that means like stealth knives or even sniper rifles from a distance, as you pointed out. You can't just get the jump on somebody because you built this awesome stealth character anymore. And so the only PvP that would be fair, just going on what they've said, I mean, obviously we haven't seen it in practice yet, but just going on what they've said, it sounds like the only PvP that would be like a fair game would be the non-stealth, non-melee people.
Right, which is, at least to me, kind of dumb, because even more so, that's telling people who want to play certain ways they can't do it. Now, hopefully, I mean, maybe, that whole slapping system, whatever, will be the default, and each individual person can be like, hey, I don't want to do that, I will let people attack, whatever. But, of course, that's still... I'd rather an opt-out if they're going to go that way, instead of opt-in.
You're going to have abusing that too. People that actually want PvP would always keep that slap mechanic on so that nobody could ever sneak up on them. Why would they not?
Yeah, I guess that's true, but...
They do have a toggle to block... They have two toggles that they cover at QuakeCon. They've got a toggle which blocks players from harming you. And they also have a pacifist toggle. And the pacifist toggle means that whenever you accidentally do friendly fire, it does not initiate a slap at all, and it doesn't do any damage to them. It's almost like shooting nothingness. So you can disable it for yourself, but it doesn't sound like you have a way to truly disable it for others. I still think PvP and PvE servers are the way to go. You're not going to be able to fit a PvE player and a PvP player into the same map. I'm happy to eat my hat if I end up being wrong and they manage to find the perfect balance. I just, in 30 years plus of gaming, I just don't see PvP and PvE working together in a multiplayer game like this.
Unless they have Dark Zones.
Unless they what?
Dark Zones, like in, what is it, Division? Where it's just like pure PvP zones.
Oh, right. You're talking about pure PvP zones. Yeah, I could see if they had specific zones on the map that were, if you go in them, you're automatically flagged and will always be flagged as PvP, kind of like PvP arena type things. That could work.
Yeah. Because then you couldn't have an excuse for being shot from you go far and all this sort of stuff. And you have to be voluntary and people opt into it.
Yeah, I actually think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Though I also would get some flashbacks of like RuneScape. Hey, come up here, and I'll give you some really good armor as they go up into the wildlands and then kill you.
This is true.
But I mean, that's that's for the gullible. Good job.
It's actually
Lesson learned.
That's actually one of the reasons why they decided to make structures in your bases destroyable. Because in their early testing, and they talked about it a little bit in the QuakeCon, but apparently in early testing, they had it where somebody had literally just made their base nothing but a prison and would just slam down a base on top of an enemy, and now that enemy's stuck, forced to just fight you and die.
That's actually ingenious.
It is ingenious, but that's why they made structures where you could destroy them as a player so that the other player can get out of these traps.
And see, like, another thing is, like, if you're we had these PvP zones, we could go in there as a group, and then other people would go in as a group. And that's like a raider group kind of thing.
Yeah.
And see, without the, like, PvP zone-ish thing or the slot mechanic, you can't go in as a group. You can't raid an area. You can't do that with the slot mechanic.
That's true. Unless they have it set so that, like, if you're on a team, it flags for the whole team. But at that point, you can even reverse exploit that by just being by yourself and looking like you don't have a team. Wait for someone to do the slap, and then before you know it, 5 people jump out of the bushes and kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all of it seems very exploitable. I think they're underestimating just how many ways there are to exploit mechanics.
They're not thinking all the way.
Well, just my theory, mind you, but the way it seems like they went about this from my perspective, they had the initial hype stream expectation, which got everyone excited. Then they revealed a bunch of features that most Fallout fans do not like, but a lot of MMO fans would like. So they pissed off their normal fan base. And then they're like, oh, geez, a lot of people are going to hate this. We better revert some of the stuff. So now they've pissed off the MMO fan base. They're not pleasing anyone. They're really not.
I mean, it sounds like you want to paint it more as a knee-jerk. I don't necessarily agree that they're making knee-jerk decisions. I think they're making very informed decisions. The problem is, I think they're trying to solve an unsolvable problem that they've created for themselves.
See, I feel like if that wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to some backlash, that it would not be as badly constructed as it is. Like, I feel like nobody would intentionally cause this kind of an issue.
Maybe. I think you might be onto something. Maybe a little bit.
Also, I can prove already the slap mechanic will never work because she hits me all the time, and even though I don't fight back, she doesn't stop.
Even though she gets nothing out of it. No, she gets sheer joy out of it, doesn't she?
Well, that's what I'd get playing the game, I guess.
So
You're a wanted murderer.
I'm just going to shoot through some more facts that came up during the QuakeCon. One of the questions were what happens when you die. And initially they had done it where when you die you don't lose anything. And obviously that was kind of piddly. People would just exploit that and die to go places faster. Death never really meant death anymore. Now, they did add something that you lose, but I don't feel like it's enough to matter. They made it so that... Do you remember in Fallout 4, you can collect junk and scraps to build stuff? So scraps and junk are important, and there are going to be some junk material pieces that are harder to come by. When you die, you drop whatever junk material is on your character. However, nothing stops you from just storing the stuff and then going out. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't feel like that's even a punishment.
It's not a punishment to drop your junk.
I mean,
I was hoping we'd be more mature.
I was hoping we'd be more mature.
You know, I'm over here
you tell me that you're
snickering about
snickering.
that,
Yeah,
and
I
she's
saw
jumping
that.
on me, and then she hits push to talk and makes a joke about it. See, right here, wanted murderer.
Wanted
Yeah,
murderer.
she would probably be the first one in my group to murder somebody, and I'd be the one in the radiation goes.
Speaking of wanted murderer, I think that's a really stupid mechanic.
I like the murder mechanic.
No, I like the bounty mechanic.
Yeah.
I
It
don't like
draws
that
from your
they
past.
literally hide everyone from you, and everyone can see where you are at, where you are.
That's for killing somebody who refused to fight back.
I know. Well, I guess it's just because we think that the slut mechanic in general is dumb, but I still don't think that. I don't know. I just think that branding them a murderer and making it so they can't see anyone and everyone can see you is like kind of, I don't know. I just think it's dumb.
Well, I thought it could be kind of cool. Like, I could imagine having fun being the murderer. And maybe this is the problem, right? Like, they want to make being the murderer something you don't want to do. The first thing I thought of when they said, as a murderer, you're now risking your money. You're now not able to see where the enemies are, but they can see you. The first thing I thought of is how cool would it be to be the murderer and challenge yourself in like whatever you consider your home territory, hiding behind things, killing players as they come out to get that bounty on you. Like, that sounds like a really fun gameplay loop to me with my money on the line, but it sounds like they're using that as a deterrent. And if I'm really all aboard that and want to be the murderer just to get that challenging experience, I don't feel like it's a good deterrent.
It just feels like they're trying to encourage the discourage that, but at the same time, what you're describing is a offense thing.
Yeah, because it sounds fun, doesn't it? Like, it's a new
does sound fun.
it's like a new challenge mode. All you have to do is go kill somebody who's helpless, and then now you've got a challenge mode to really test your mettle that you would not get otherwise.
Okay,
If you're
so
playing the daily.
I'm looking at this from someone that played a lot of WoW, and my perspective on it is this. I don't want the additional challenge mode. What I want is to sit there and camp someone for 10 minutes and then leave where they can never get me back, and I know they're pissed about it. That's what I want to do. I don't want the challenge mode.
Well, they've already made a very, very clear anti-grieving stance, so I don't think you'll ever get that.
Exactly. That's why I hate it.
Wow. So you just want to grieve in video games.
He's an asshole.
I want a PvP. Don't give me this half-assed butchered PvP. That's what I want to do.
Well, the good news is they did stand by their commitment to eventually giving us private servers with custom rules and mods. So eventually, if it's not an option at launch, if there's not enough support to make them add that kind of feature, eventually we will get just that. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is the dedicated servers and mods, because that's going to be... I think that's when this game's really going to blow up. Even if the game is absolute garbage. I don't think it's garbage. I think it's an okay game, just on what we know. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just okay. When the private servers hit, you're going to see it explode, and you can mark this on your calendar when I made this claim. When private servers and mods hit, this game will explode just like Minecraft did. Guaranteed.
You think it's gonna smash out of the gates?
Mila!
Okay, so I want to crank it up another notch on the asshole meter because that's what I do. It's not quite the same if you make a server with the intention of everyone can just kill everyone right from the start. No, I want to be that asshole that sneaks up behind you and slits your throat while you're doing something and leave.
Well, you can do that
Exactly.
if in dedicated servers. I imagine a full PvP server, you can do just that. Just sneak up on them. They'll probably have like the beacons disabled so you can't see where anyone's at. Do your business and leave. I guarantee you.
But the difference there is they joined that particular server expecting things like that to happen. You don't get that enjoyment out of doing what you're doing.
So you want to take advantage of people who don't want to PvP, is what you want to do.
You know, that's what I did in World of Warcraft, and I had people
I
do it
was
to
just
me,
gonna say.
and I enjoyed it.
But you
know,
were on
I
a
like-
PvP server. They knew it was going to happen.
I mean, yes, I was on a PvP server, but you have to realize that a ton of people on there don't necessarily want to fight 24/7 just because it's a PvP server. They still have
Exactly.
designated zones for you to PvP in,
Right.
and just because you're in that zone doesn't mean you want to fight. It means that you'll be looking out for a fight, but you're not necessarily wanting to.
Well, that's the same thing that could apply to the Fallout.
Yeah, but I mean, think of it this way: you're running along the Barrens, just going to turn in your quest, and all of a sudden you're sniped for 9,000 damage and you die, and you never know who did it.
Well, I mean, there's
That kind of thing
combat
cannot
logs.
happen in this game.
It didn't happen in WoW either. There was combat logs. You knew exactly who killed you.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like, you never saw them do it.
Right.
And you didn't necessarily join that server with the expectation that that would happen to you.
Well, I did. I joined PvP servers because it puts you on edge and forces you to have to be aware. And if you're not aware, if you're not on edge, you get punished for it. That's what I enjoyed
And
about
that's
it.
what I like.
Okay, so we're at the heart. Maybe you're not a heartless asshole after all. Maybe it's just that feeling you're after.
No, he is a heartless asshole.
I'm going to prove it to you. I am a heartless asshole. I don't want people having the ability to not PvP.
That's fair, though. That's
I'm sorry,
fair.
Don't. I don't.
That's why I think PvP and PvE servers would work better than what they're doing. I agree. I don't like the slap mechanic. I want to experience the murder mechanic, which is probably contrary to what they're hoping. So I don't know. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and move on down to the last few factoids we got out of this. Yes, nukes can destroy structures, but as we've known before, you can save your base in a blueprint and just reprint it for caps. Damage is normalized in PvP compared to PvE. So like a rocket launcher will do yay damage to a mole rat, but then if you shoot it and hit another player, it does yay damage. So the damage scale for PvE versus PvP kind of does this. And the reason they're doing that, the claim is because they don't want to put it in a situation where higher level players can just always win against lower level players. Don't know how I feel about that either.
Don't like that either. I'm sorry, but again, looking back at WoW, when I'm level 15 and a level 70 pops out of nowhere and kills me before I even know what happens, that's part of the game. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, if you get that legendary rocket launch, you should be able to use it on whoever the fuck you want.
Now, I'm okay with that a little bit more maybe than you guys are, because my concept of PvP in games is I want everyone to start and end a PvP session from the same playing field. I don't want there to be very clear advantages and disadvantages. I want that to all, 99% of that to be dictated by who played better rather than who played longer. Because I'm a very skill-based player.
So what you're saying is, just like most people, you were pissed off when you'd play people in GoldenEye and that one person would pick Oddjob.
That did frustrate me because it was a very non-skill related choice. And for anyone who's curious, maybe if you're too young to remember the GoldenEye days, which by the way you missed out if that's the case, Oddjob was an abnormally short character, so he was harder to shoot than other players. And by contrast, in the game Perfect Dark, the alien, you didn't want to pick the alien because anytime you picked him, you knew anytime you got shot, it would be a headshot and you'd die. Same things, different size hitboxes. And so I don't like uneven playing fields in my PvP game. I don't like the situation where I can say, well, I'm level 60. And as Trey put it in chat, I don't like that. Higher level players kind of deserve to have the advantage. In a PvP-oriented game, I never want to be able to say someone has earned the right to an advantage. I want that advantage to be completely gameplay based, not time based, not I played longer, not I happen to get better cards in a pack.
Okay,
I want it
Okay,
skill based.
like Overwatch, HOTS, stuff like that, yes. But if we're talking like Fallout, then people, if we spend more time in their game, more resources, more just time in general, they deserve to have that rocket launcher do as much damage as that card does.
Yeah, but not in PvP though. Like that's where I draw the line. Like in Warframe, I never touched PvP because to me, I would just be getting into PvP, and it didn't matter how good I played. I could be playing against someone who is a lot worse than me, but they happen to have done PvP longer, and they would win. And I don't feel like that is an earned win at that point. I feel like that's a waste of my time to even invest in a PvP match knowing I'm going to lose just because I haven't played it as long as they have, even though I might be a better player.
The only reason why I do PvP in Warframe is for the events. And those event ones do special like augmentations to the thing, like throw snowballs at players or use only bows and arrows. But I don't actually do the actual normal PvP.
And
the normal PvP Warframe is waste of time. Said.
Oko says they're not much of a PvP person. I'm not either. I'm very picky. I'm very, very picky. There are specific games I will go to play PvP. In most games that offer it, I pretend the feature doesn't exist. Like Path of Exile, it's got PvP, I pretend it doesn't. Minecraft, you can have PvP in that, I pretend it doesn't exist. I specifically go to certain games like MOBAs, like Heroes of the Storm, for instance, when I want that PvP experience. And you can even argue the same fact for things like Heroes of the Storm. Like, yes, some stuff is decided, well, nowadays, a lot is decided by your composition pick. But beyond that, once you get in the game, it is entirely about how you play. So if you were to say you pick Thrall, the enemy has a Thrall, it doesn't matter who played 1,000 hours and who played 80 hours. It matters who plays the better Thrall. One Thrall doesn't magically have like 7,000 more armor because they played longer, and so it makes for a fair match. And that's where I draw the distinction in PvP games. I don't like the entitled earning of just being able to beat people without skill.
Well, I have to ask then, did you not PvP in WoW?
I did, but I hated it. I hated it so much, in fact, that I created a bot to PvP for me in Battlegrounds to get my gear up to max. Once I had max gear and I know the worst case scenarios I'd be in equal gear to other people, then I played it legitimately and went into arenas.
Now, I'm of course asking before there was like a heavy emphasis on PvP gear and stuff. Like, let's say, you have yourself as level 30 and you have an enemy as level 30.
Right.
And they just happen to get much, much luckier with dungeon drops than you did. So
Right.
they beat you because of that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that you can just have an advantage in PvP. I'm very, very hard line. PvP needs to be skill based. Otherwise, it's not player versus player. It's gear versus gear, and that's an entirely different game to me.
So I don't know. I like that kind of thing. I'm kind of like you. I have my own types of games where I want to do serious combat against another player. Like, that's why I'm so big into fighting games, because that's always an even playing field in the extent of, who was more serious about getting better. It's not a randomized thing.
Who's your favorite Street Fighter character?
Oh, gosh.
Just name one that you play a lot of.
Probably Dalzim.
Dalzim? All right, so let's imagine you're in a mirror match with another Dalzim. The only difference is they've got a loot pack, so they have an extra 30 damage on their punches. So you're going to have to land 4 punches for every one of theirs. Are you telling me that would still be an enjoyable experience to you?
No, actually, I think maybe I didn't say that the best way I could. No, when I do fighting games, I want serious level playing field combat. When I'm playing stuff like WoW, I don't.
Okay, so in games like WoW, you actually like the earned right to beat up on people who can't defend.
I do, yes. Okay. And I love the whole randomized gear drop, because sometimes that means you're going to be the luckier person, sometimes you're not.
I gotcha. And see, I take a very hard line approach. So that's, I think, where we diverge. Couple more facts. Communication They are going to have voice chat, area voice chat for people around you in the game. Positional audio, I guess you could call it that. So people can hear you if they're in range of you, and that is going to be a toggle. To be honest, my voice chat's going to be disabled, as it is in every game. I don't want to hear 12-year-olds screaming and crying.
Oh, but you might get reported for that.
Well, let them report. VATS is going to be real time, which to me kind of defeats the purpose of VATS, but one of the guys on the show did point out something where it has a use now, and it's a use I didn't even think of. VATS is a great way to scout where enemies are. If you're getting shot at and you want to participate in PvP and there's foliage everywhere, pop your VATS. Oh, that's where he's at, and then run toward him. So how do you feel about that change up from VATS in previous games, which was it stopped the gameplay for you to take aim?
Okay, so I guess I'll go first here. Speaking as a non-shooter player, I actually didn't like VATS. I never liked it. I enjoy the arcade shooter type things, but I didn't really play much FPS games otherwise. But I always liked the fact that it really just came down to who had the better accuracy. I don't want a VATS system slowing down the gameplay and letting me get easy shots off.
Okay. How do you feel, Hidden Spike Trap? Because I know you've probably used a lot of VATS in your time in Fallout games.
I'm not sure if I should find that as an insult or not.
I used VATS a lot too, and the only time I didn't was I exploited the exploit in Fallout 4, where one of the companions would give you like 3,000% headshot by accident. I avoided doing that.
Wow. So, okay, when I played Fallout 3,
Three
for
or
the
New
first
Vegas?
time, 3.
Okay.
I actually did use VATS a fair bit. I was not an FPS player. I really did enjoy the game, but I did actually use VATS. In New Vegas, I rarely used VATS. I didn't use it very often at all. Don't you shake your
What are you
head.
looking at me
You
for?
didn't even watch me play. Anyway, and then in Fallout 4, I did use it, but only because of how the melee thing worked. Because I played melee in Fallout 4.
VATS in 3 was insane. It gave you like a hefty damage reduction buff, didn't it? Yeah, VATS was pretty ridiculous. I mean, you had to like perk into it. You really needed to build it up. But once you got your perception up there, like VATS got pretty crazy. Now, you did bring up how it progressed throughout the games, and I think there was a pattern. Fallout 3, VATS was crazy. New Vegas, especially once you got into like the Gunrunner's Arsenal content, VATS was pretty amazing there as well. But with Fallout 4, you saw this very clear change in gameplay where they really wanted to bring that gunplay to the forefront at the sacrifice of some of the more RPG elements. And so it makes sense that VATS is starting to take more of a backseat or a changed mechanic. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, even when the instances that I did use guns, which, being melee, I mostly like shotguns and whatnot, I didn't really need to use VATS, and the melee only had me use VATS when I needed to do the blitz jump.
I love blitz builds. That's my favorite way to play Fallout 4 is with blitz melee builds.
Oh, that's the only, I only played the one character, and that's the only way I play. It was a lot of fun, especially once survival, because if you fucked up, you're dead.
I really hope
You
there's
have
a
to
blitz
understand.
card in 76.
She had to play a blitz build because that's what she wants to do in real life.
Well, I'll tell you, if you were playing a blitz build, up until you got blitz, was that a hard game or what?
Oh, it was difficult, though I will say, I don't think I was playing survival for the early levels after your warning.
Oh,
I was playing on hard, I think, sure, but yeah. Especially when you came across super mutants, it's like, no, fuck, I need to get away from these people.
Yep, pretty much. All right, so that's VATS. The music, of course, they're going to have radio stations. Now, they're saying that they're going to have more radio station and song selection than any other Fallout game before. I imagine they're probably trying to kind of appeal to people who enjoyed the music in, say, Grand Theft Auto Online. They have this huge music library. So what my hope is that we get, probably not that vast, but a really vast collection of like 40s music. And they brought that up in QuakeCon. Apparently there's a lot more Fortis music that fits the post-apocalyptic world than people realized. So I'm looking forward to what kind of wacky tunes come out of that. And then, of course, the private servers with modding are definitely going to be going in. So Elko says, I don't see Blitz being in 76 unless they make it where you can get a speed buff heading towards enemies that are close to you or a moderate distance away. I see Blitz as working, but that might also be because of my experience in World of Warcraft playing rogues. Because they had Shadow Step, which was essentially what Blitz is. It's a blink. It teleports you to right behind where they're at. If I'm remembering correctly.
I was going to mention that, actually.
Yeah, so I think Blitz could work exactly as it was programmed in 4. And I think it could be balanced. I don't think that they're going to be making it where you could just blitz at people from like a football field away. Or the charge for warriors, yeah. I can see it kind of working like a charge as well. Lots of ways to make it work. If they don't have Blitz in 76, I'll be very sad. And if anyone on our team who jumps into Fallout 76 gets a Blitz card, you're trading it to me.
Screw you. If I get the Blitz card, I'm keeping it.
And Elko, if you're going to be jumping on 76, we are going to be playing it as a group. And anyone who wants to jump in with us is more than welcome to. I think this is going to be one of those games that are... The experience is going to be defined by the people you play with. More than anything, more than any other game. I think that's what it's going to come down to. So that's Fallout 76. Everything we have from QuakeCon, of course, as more comes up, we'll bring it on in future shows. But now we're getting to the part everyone's actually here for.
We went on Fallout for as long as the next Fallout's going to come out for.
Yeah.
She would word that better.
So, which one of you guys wants to lead us off in the world of Smash?
King effing K. Rool.
K. Rool. How about that? So, Smash Brothers news flood. I'll tell you what, Utility Man, I'm going to let you give us the intro. I'm going to do something very unprofessional and run to the bathroom while you do your intro, and I'll be back. So, the floor is all yours, my friend.
Okay, so while he's gone, I just want to remind everyone that he said if Simon Belmont was in this game, he would get a Switch at Smash Brothers. He better come through.
Yes.
He better come through. So it's been a while since we talked about Smash Brothers. Like, I don't even think that we knew what the characters were going to be the last time we talked about it. I think everyone is here, which was like the big thing then. I don't even remember if that had been announced yet, because we were still kind of speculating on who could be in it. And I know one of the many characters that we were considering being in it was Simon. I think we're all excited about Simon Belmont being in it.
That was one of the leaks, wasn't it?
What's that?
That was one of the leaks you guys were discussing.
Yeah, there were quite a few leaks. And see, normally I hate to discuss leaks because, you know, most of them are going to be false. And even one time when one person does happen to be right, it could just be because there were so many different ones and one person happened to be right. But yes, Simon Belmont was a leaked character. So by the time they announced him, most people knew that leak. So I think that kind of dialed down the excitement just a tad, but I'm excited. You know, I've wanted Simon Belmont since Melee came out.
Yeah, this is Castlevania's first time with Smash.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hopefully
I
we didn't
think-
bring up anything Castlevania related yet.
Too late.
That's exactly what we talked about.
That's the main thing I'm hyped for. Everything Castlevania related?
Oh yeah, we talked about Belmont, Richter Belmont, Dracula.
Man, I am so stoked for Simon and Richter. Like, I remember I made this agreement with you guys in the past that I'll probably skip Smash Brothers. And then I had to put my foot in my mouth and say, but you know, if they added Simon, then I would buy it and play with you guys.
Wait, did you say that? I don't think we remember.
Oh, in that case.
We just said it.
Oh, did
Like,
you
I
really?
almost forgot all about him saying that.
Oh my
So you guys already brought that up. So I'm really being held to the fire here.
Yeah, you're being held accountable. 'Cause they just
Talking
said it
about
right before
Frost.
you came back.
Elko even. Don't forget that promise you made. Oh my god. So yeah, I will be... This is the problem I have. Smash Brothers has such a vast, colorful, beautiful, gorgeous roster.
Gorgeous.
It's got something for everyone. You've got so many options. You play how you feel. And then they added Simon. And Simon is going to be the only character I ever play. There are no other characters in Smash.
You know, you might want to load up the website there and bring up the video on Simon.
Oh, did you send me that link?
I did. It is in Warp Stage 3 chat.
I shall bring it up, potentially.
And yeah, I believe this is Castlevania's first time in Smash.
It
Any
is.
of its stuff. And they have, what, all of the soundtrack?
They have 34 songs from the Castlevania series.
Is it the last link in the channel?
It should be. It should have a big Smash Brothers Ultimate picture.
All right, let's see if I can pull that up. Dun, dun, dun,
link directly to the
screen
fighters.
share. Dun, 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 full screen. Okay, so what am I looking at?
Okay, so this. Well, go ahead if you want to say, Mila.
Oh, and it's a click on fighters because they don't take the fighters one.
I like how it has a new tab. All right, so what am I doing here? Sideways text, taco neck syndrome. Oh, look at that. Yes, the crazy eye. Wait, what?
Yeah, Dark Samus.
Yeah, Dark Samus is in it.
Wow. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Is there an order by release date or anything, or?
It's technically an order by announcement, so Simon's going to be at the bottom.
Oh, here we are. Simon, Richter, and King K. Rool. So are Simon and Richter actually different characters, or are they just skins of the same character?
They're echoes of each other.
What does that even mean?
If you don't know what Echo means, it basically means that they're very similar in playstyle, but they have a few unique differences that makes them not quite the same character.
All right,
They
so
have the same moves, but they have completely different animations and looks.
okay, so it's basically like a reskin, but essentially.
Yeah, basically, but they did it so that in English. They did it so they didn't have to waste resources to make an entirely different character like they used to.
Now, is
Now-
this middle video like the reveal?
That's the reveal trailer. If you want to play that, if you just want to see what he does, it's the video to the right of that.
All right, I'm gonna mute it because you know how Nintendo is with their videos. We're probably still gonna get flagged just for having like Nintendo pixels on the screen, but it's whatever.
You should probably play some heavy synth music while this is going.
Not actual gameplay video. Really? I thought Smash had these graphics. I thought Smash was made in Unreal Engine. Was I wrong?
This is definitely the Unity engine, Frost. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I recognize this video.
This has been making the rounds.
It's a good video.
It's a very good
He's
video.
Luigi.
Yeah, look at that statue. How creepy is that? That actually looks like the room from Amnesia Dark Descent. One of the rooms with like the pool in the middle. Which is crazy to imagine Luigi in a room like that, right? Here we are. The moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. If only that could have been Mario. I'm not a Mario fan. I'm a Luigi fan. I'm sorry.
Rest in peace, Luigi.
Yeah, but it makes sense for it to be Luigi because of Luigi's Mansion.
The cloaked figure is... He-Man. I mean Simon.
That chain whip.
What if it was He-Man?
If it was He-Man. He'll have to bring his friend, like Man-at-Arms.
And then
Oh!
Skeletor!
Oh, look at this. He's got the spin. I do like the boomerang.
The cross, yeah.
It makes me think of Sivir from League of Legends, if you remember that character.
I do, actually.
No, I hit the play. All right, so that's Simon. I want to see Richter. Does Richter have a similar type reveal?
Not exactly, because again, he is an Echo fighter, but you could still play one of the videos on him.
I'll tell you what we'll do instead. Since they're echoes of each other, we're just going to look at the actual gameplay. Maybe.
Yeah, the
Why is
the
it-
gameplay is always going to be the ones with the number, but if you watch the reveal trailer, you most likely already saw Simon's.
Yeah, that looks so good. And again, you said echoes have the same movesets, right?
They're very similar. They have some differences to keep them from being exactly the same, but very similar.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually worth checking. Their stuff is a bit.
Man, that is some hypeness right there. And then, of course, I know Mila's excited for King K. Rool.
I am too.
King K. Rool, that reveal. Oh my god.
The reveal
The
trailer.
reveal trailer is really good.
It's fantastic.
All right, let's see what we got here. I like that art style. What? Really? Just show us the mouth.
Hashtag half mouth.
The half mouth, yep. He's the first member of the DK crew.
Oh, don't start. I'm going to want to sing the whole thing if you do.
Oh, I know you will. It was I, DDD, the whole time.
I love his laughter. It's so great.
Look at that. King K. Rool. You know, I didn't think I would be excited for King K. Rool. If I'm being honest, it sounded dumb to me. But after I saw it, I was like, you know, that could actually be kind of fun.
Yeah, like this thing. I've wanted him so long, and the way that he's introduced him is so great.
Like, he's such a ridiculous character.
They have a history of making characters look exciting to play as in Smash Brothers, though.
Yeah, they've nailed it, I think, at that point. He reminds me of, what was that game you were playing with the flexing fish?
Oh, you mean Slap City?
Slap
yeah.
City. Yeah, he reminds me of that fish dude with the like really built abs on Slap City.
Fish Bunyan.
Did any of you guys play the casual businessman?
I think I saw Utility Man play the businessman in Slap City.
No, that was not me.
That was me.
Oh, it was you.
That was her. And I specifically made it a note to only kill her every time she picked that
I know.
character.
That's why I said every character I end up liking, he hates.
I hate that character.
I heard he's really good.
I like him.
Wow. So I like King K. Rool. I'm sad that he's going to be in the same game as Simon and Richter, because all that means is that I don't get to play King K. Rool because I'll just be on Simon and Richter.
Okay, well, since you're definitely stuck on the Castlevania stuff, why don't we mention the Castlevania stage that will be amazing, because throughout you playing the stage, various bosses from the Castlevania series will come by to interfere.
Really? That's part of the stage's progression?
That's part of the stage.
And somehow there's... Oh, I don't think they revealed how Dracula's gonna appear, but he himself can also come out as a boss.
They said like once in a blue moon, once something happens, and this and that. Luigi has to jump over a moon.
Oh, they've
Mario
got
has to
the...
throw a cow at him.
We talked about if they had a stage. We talked about that, having the candles you
did.
could hit. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to have that because it's too iconic not to have.
Death. Of course, you've got to have death. Oh, they got Carmilla? An unknown? What was that unknown?
Yeah, we don't know what the unknown is yet.
Watch it just be something like the sun from Mario's desert stage.
Great.
Oh, hey, Mario. I'm here in Castlevania. Time to die.
Yep. The sun and Death signed like a contract, one to take down Luigi, the other take down Mario. They were in it. They were in cahoots. It was an inside job.
So, also for any Symphony of the Night fans out there, myself included,
Yes.
Alucard is going to be an assist trophy.
I was reading about that. You know what would be better than making him an assist trophy?
Make him an actual playable character.
Make him a playable character. Then I would have
I'm sure
three
a lot of
characters.
people wanted that.
Then I would have 3 characters to choose from when I play.
See, I know when we talked about it last time, we mentioned Alucard, and that would be amazing. But since they didn't do that, at least he is in the game.
I mean, you could easily imagine what kind of moveset he would have, right? Like you'd get the bat form, obviously. He would have the gaseous form as well to dodge attacks.
Well, that kind of makes it easier since his assist trophy actually does a lot of those things. It has the gaseous form. It does turn into a bat.
Really? See, I don't know
Yes, it
as
does.
I don't know as much as this as you guys on the Smash front because I still haven't gotten into it quite yet. So I'm relying on you guys for a lot of the information on it.
We drank up all of the videos. Like,
Well,
slurp drank.
Just
At
marathon.
least we didn't counter slurp, right?
What's that, Mila?
pretty much, I think we're at the point where Sakurai is pretty much saying, we put Castlevania in Smash, stop asking us for things.
Do you think at this point they're done listening to the community? I don't think that's the
I
case.
think they're done listening at this point.
You
They're just gonna put stuff in that they want.
put stuff that they want on.
Now, they have said there will be more characters than what's been shown.
I demand
yeah.
I demand that we get official representation of the Tetris pieces
Hell yeah.
in playable form.
Give us a Tetris stage.
I always wanted a Tetris stage. I think that'd be a lot of fun to be dodging the blocks and then actually changing the landscape as you play.
Or hitting the block so it would line up correctly with the Tetris.
No, you guys don't understand. I want a playable character. I want the L shape as a playable character.
No, we understand. We just kind of glossed over that.
You can't do like the straight line piece because then everyone would play that character. Let's be
Line
real.
piece.
Yep. That's what his
Line.
name would
Pretty
be.
sure it's all about L block.
It would definitely be L block. It would have to be L
What about
block.
the square block though? I mean,
No.
that thing would obviously be top tier. It's the smallest hitbox.
It does have the smallest hitbox, but the L shape is how you get the really good trick plays.
I remember hearing a saying about L block a long time ago, and it went, shaped like a boot to kick some ass.
I like it. We've got the intro audio for it already. See, L block is on his way to being a real character. I promise, guys.
L block for Smash.
L block for Smash. Start the
L
petition
block
now.
for Smash, let's go!
Start the petition now. But seriously though, Castlevania, man. Have you guys played the classic Castlevania games?
I have.
I have. I actually own 2 of them, I believe.
I still think Symphony of the Night is probably my favorite, but I really enjoyed playing back through Symphony of the Night after you unlocked the other playable characters, so you go back to that traditional whip style gameplay.
Now, when you said classic, I thought you meant like the first 3 on NES.
Yeah, I was
own
asking
Symphony of
about
the
that.
Night as well.
So-
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I played the classics, but my mind nowadays, because Symphony of the Night was just so well done for its time. Whenever I think Castlevania, that's the first game that comes to my mind.
That's what I think when we think of Metroidvania games. Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night was kind of my actual introduction into Metroidvania style games. I mean, I played a little bit of the original Metroid, but I didn't really like it that much. But Symphony of the Night, I didn't stop playing once I started.
So Milo, what are you most hyped for about what we know in this Smash update?
I don't think King K. Rool. I'm actually curious what they're gonna do with a dead Luigi.
With the dead Luigi, you think they're gonna put something in there for Luigi based on that little bit of video, or do you think that's just like flavor video?
I mean, I think he's actually good.
I know Hidden Spike
Come
Trap.
on.
I mean, Hidden Spike Trap. You and I were talking in Discord, and you mentioned something about Nintendo came out and said he's not dead, guys.
That was only the UK account, right? I mean, it's not like the US or Japanese accounts. So it's not completely canon.
Yeah, I had linked her to that thing. They actually had to tell people, no, Luigi's not dead, because this was actually turning into a big thing.
How much you want to bet? Like, what are the odds he actually did die in canon? And then they saw the complaints and they're like, no, it was just a video, guys. It's just a video. He's not dead. And
They
like,
probably had to retcon it.
and they called the voice actor back at like 3 a.m. We need you to come back to work. We need you to come back to work. Emergency. Emergency. I know we gave you a severance package. We'll give you another and gum. Come back to work. And gum.
And part cards.
And part cards, yeah.
And this is after the year of Luigi.
Well, every year is the year of Luigi. Get out of here with that crap.
Yeah, but they did actually have a designated year of Luigi where he got like 2 or 3 different games and he was appearing in a bunch of different games and they were making a big deal about him, which should be every year, but it's not.
So we got Simon, we got the Alucard assist trophy, we've got Richter, we've got the Dracula stage, we've got King K. Rool. What else do we know about Smash?
So
More
the most
Pokemon.
exciting thing... Well, go ahead, Lazy.
We got more Pokemon.
Yes, we got more Pokemon.
Hold on. Let me pause this because I haven't kept up with Pokemon since like I only know Gen 1 by heart, and I played Gen 2 and a little bit of 3. So what Pokemon did they add, and are they worthless?
They added Eddie, and that's all I care about.
They added what?
They added the stupid Alolan Executor with the 40-foot neck.
Hold on.
That was what I was going to mention. I was going to say they added Mimikyu.
They did add
That was so
Mimikyu.
adorable.
So are these
That one I'm fine with.
are these playable characters?
And the the 2 Vulpixes.
Oh my god,
gosh.
yes, the 2 Vulpixes.
So are these playable characters, or are these like Pokemon trainer Pokemon?
Pokeballs.
They're
No.
the Pokeballs.
Oh, the
It's an
Pokeballs?
item in the game. You can get a Pokeball and throw it, and a random Pokeball or Pokemon will come out and assist you for a little bit.
So you have to distinguish because, like, so far we've got what? We've got playable Pokemon. We've got Pokemon by
We do.
Pokemon trainer. We've got level-based Pokemon, and then we've got item-based Pokemon. Like, Pokemon are literally everywhere. Like, I want to play
It's a
Pokemon Go
world,
Away.
man.
I want to play Pokemon Go Away for a little while.
Well, we all live in a Pokemon world.
I'm not going to be the very best at that. That's all I know.
That's not the same song, Frost.
No, it's not, but it's the better version. It's the heavy metal version. So we're getting new Pokemon. What else we got? I know you said you were going to say something.
Yes, what is most exciting to me, at least so far, we have 103 confirmed stages.
Wait, most exciting? Are you telling me that you'll be able to level up your Smash character and take advantage of people who are just starting to play, so you can get your?
Well, yeah, I will be able to do that, but that's not what I was talking about.
Ganondorf destroying a level 1 Jigglypuff.
So you just threw out a fairly large number. What's that number again?
103 different stages.
Confirmed so far.
How many of them are Game & Watch? Like 100 Game & Watch stages and 3 others.
There's only one right now.
There's only one Game & Watch stage.
Wow.
Actually, if you still have the website up, they have a slideshow thing there for stages, and you can view all of them if you want.
All right, where's that at? That's stages.
What was the second most number of stages in the game? Wasn't it like 50?
Oh, they're bringing
Something like
the
that.
they're bringing the this in.
Yeah, this.
that.
Yeah.
The Great Plateau Tower. That's cool. I'm happy to see something like that in. Wow.
Okay. But,
Yeah,
now
you
that
will
we're
get
not-
overwhelmed by all the stages.
I feel like I'm looking at a Mugen game.
Now that we're on top
Yeah,
of
I can
stages,
understand that.
What's up, Mila?
stage morphing. Let's talk about this.
Well, let him get used to the stages for a second.
I'm so overwhelmed.
Because that is.
There's so much here. Oh, wait, they got this? Oh, I found my favorite stage, guys. This is the only place
Okay,
we're going to play ever.
Oh my
So-
god.
Pick 2 stages. Pick 2 stages of your favorite. That are your favorite.
Oh, I like Duck Hunt. That one's been around. Whoa, what is... There's too many damn stages up in here.
Okay, so imagine
You'll get used
2
to them
big
awfully
stages.
fast.
Imagine just being able to play them at the same time, the same match.
What do you mean at the same time at the same match? That doesn't even make sense. Explain.
So the stage morphing mechanic, the stage will you can choose the timer or you can change so it changes randomly in the match. But you can choose 2 stages, and the stage will morph between 2 different stages during the match. So
This,
you can have your Donkey Kong, and you can have a different stage.
and they literally just transform back and forth into one another, or is it like a one-time thing?
It's back and forth between one another, depending on how long much you set up the boards.
So you could create some really devilish stage combos that way.
You really could.
Yeah.
Well, all right, found my favorite.
Dracula, and then you're gonna put 75 amp, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what we need. Dracula to take out Donkey Kong throwing the barrels.
Yes, Dracula and
The
Donkey
ultimate
Kong.
crossover.
That is the best
How does that
combo.
work? With stage bosses? Like, if it morphs during when a stage boss is on, did the boss just disappear? Or did they stay there?
They'll
No,
probably
I'll tell you what happens. It's the Montauk Project, Philadelphia Experiment. We're going to have players' heads sticking out of grounds as they meld with the material of the stages. Donkey Kong becomes a lot more macabre. There's blood everywhere. Send for help.
So I actually like that you drew the comparison to Mugen there, because I could see a lot of people thinking of it that way. But in Smash Brothers, the stage actually matters because they do things. It's not just a flat surface with a background for you to walk on.
That's why it blows my mind they have so many stages. Is this like literally every stage from every previous game combined?
Almost.
Almost?
Actually, it's every stage but 15.
Wow. That's nutso.
It sucks. There's just one stage that's missing that I really wanted, and they don't have it.
Which stage
Yeah.
is that?
The Poke Floats.
Get off Pokemon!
The Poke Floats? I didn't like the Poke Floats.
Fuck you.
I felt like I
Oh,
spent
wow.
Great.
I felt like I spent more time moving around than actually like fighting.
Was
I'm
that
gonna tell you what
Pokemon
you
tournament
need.
viable at one point in time?
What's that?
Wasn't Pokefloats actually like tournament viable for the longest time?
Not that I recall.
Maybe
It
one
was,
of
like,
them.
the least randomest stage because everything was like predetermined.
Oh, interesting. That's a good way of thinking about it. But no, I had no clue.
I'll tell you what to do. First, you start with the Mario Brothers classic stage, and then you have it switch into one of the F-Zero stages.
Oh my
That's what you need to do.
God. Like, yeah, the Big Blue is back.
There you go.
Okay, but why
doing-
wouldn't they have the floats? If Big Blue's here, the floats is kind of the same thing. Like, as far as danger and always changing stage. Maybe that's why they didn't have it. A little redundant.
I've heard the theory on the Pokefloats being missing is the fact that they used like the old style Pokemon. Like I think it was just Gen 1, maybe a couple of Gen 2.
Oh,
And they feel like they'd have to update it if they were going to add that again.
because they did use some of the old art style for some of those Pokemon, and the newer art style wouldn't fit that.
I gotcha. I understand. Because they do have a very strong sense of art style in each of these. Like they're not forcing them all to match a current theme or anything. Like the Castlevania, just looking at that is clearly Castlevania, and then this is clearly classic Donkey Kong. So I see what you're saying.
I gotta say though, I like the fact that you are still looking at the stages.
Yeah, I don't. It's too much. It's too. I remember this stage. Wasn't this one in the game I played where I was playing as like the Kitty Troop, the Kid Koopas on the? I'm pretty sure I was playing as the like go-kart kids and flew off the stage a billion times.
Yeah, you mean the Koopalings? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's the one Game and Watch stage there. You can literally run off the side and die.
Yeah, JD and I both played as the Koopa kids, and it was like the worst possible choice for such a stage as that.
I can see that.
It's like, let me just gently tap the and I'm dead. That's pretty much how it went.
Sounds about right, yeah.
All right, I need
Yeah,
to...
the great thing about it, every character has at least one stage that represents them, and I love that they've done that.
Jeez. And then some have multiple.
Some have multiple, yeah.
That is insane. Okay. I know I already like changed the scene, but Fountain of Dreams looks beautiful. Look at that water.
I think I have one more thing to add to the Smash conversation.
Yeah.
Chargeable Final Smashes.
Yeah, that is a thing.
What is it?
So it's an option that you can add during custom games where I think it's like taking damage and doing damage, or is it just taking damage? I forget. One of the
I
two.
think it counts as both, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So you get a little meter below your health bar or your percentage, and once it fills up, you can do a less powerful Final Smash.
A less powerful?
Yes. So it's not like an actual Final Smash, but it's like a less powerful one.
So it's like a bite-sized Final Smash, like a value menu, a dollar menu Final Smash that you get from Damage Threshold, like a limit break.
Yeah, like a limit break.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Think of it like Street Fighter Alpha 3, where you're doing a level 1 super as opposed to level 3.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
like an EX is normal.
Now I understand it clearly in those terms. That's cool. I think that adds extra gameplay. Is that defaulted to enabled or no?
No, it's not. You have to turn it on.
Okay, so it's probably not going to be like a tournament thing. It's probably just going to be like the party
It's
game.
gonna be for parties. Yeah.
So in other words, we will always have it turned on because
Yep.
I don't want to play, flat stages that do nothing and have no items 100% of the time. I just don't.
Yeah, I think that Smash gauge may add a lot of fun to parties.
I'm kind of the same way, and I mean I know Utility Man, you and I have talked a lot about this in the past. There are many games which I like to be competitive in. Most MOBAs I like to try hard and win hard and be rewarded for my skill. To me, Smash Brothers is not that game. I know it is to a lot of people, but I very purposely avoid deep strategy talk and deep education on getting good at Smash because I don't want it to become that competitive game for me. I just want it to be that blow some steam off and goof off game.
Yeah, I'm basically the same way. I mean, I'm always going to, try to win, but I don't, sit there researching combos and advanced strategies and whatnot because I like Smash Brothers just to be a relaxing party game.
And see, there's a real risk for me in particular because, when I sink my teeth into something, I typically don't let go. And Euphorix brought it up. He's like, you'd be really good at Smash if you just learned. And he tried to be like that guy with the trench coat. Hey kid, you want to look up some Smash strats in the side alley? And I have to be very careful because I know if I start researching it, you guys won't hear from me for a while. And then the next thing it'll be like, yeah, I'm going to a Smash tournament this Saturday, so I won't be around. Like that's how it would turn out with me. That's true.
So, as the person that probably played Brawlhalla the most with you, I don't think you'll do that with Smash Brothers.
You don't think so?
I really don't.
Well, I think I'm not gonna let myself do it. I know with Brawlhalla, it's easy to just get lost in trying to like perfect stuff, but I'm not gonna let myself do it with Smash. I think as long as I stay around you guys enough, it'll always just be that fun escape. I'm actually looking forward to owning this. What do we know about release dates on this? Because I know there's a pre-order section on their site.
It actually is coming out December 7th. Right now, they have a limited edition package for the UK. We're really hoping we get it here as well because I'll definitely buy that.
So they're actually, not only do they have GameCube controller support as we expected, but they are re-releasing a new GameCube controller for this.
Yes.
So this is like the GameCube controller is like Skyrim at this point. Like, how many times are they going to release the GameCube controller? Come on.
But you need the GameCube controller for Smash.
I know.
It's the only true controller.
I know, it was the chosen one.
And they're what was it? That UK bundle that we're hoping comes here has the adapter and one GameCube controller included.
It does. I mean, I'm gonna say the GameCube controller really is a comfortable controller, and that's coming from someone with actually pretty large hands. It's a good
And
controller.
I have small hands, and it still feels comfortable.
Yeah, I don't mind the GameCube controller. I like it a lot more than the N64 controller. I think that's well, okay, a better comparison.
Well,
since we're talking Smash and we don't want to be just crazy here. I like it a lot more than holding two nunchucks. I could do that, but the controller is just like, it just beats it all easily.
well, at least as far as the joy stick is concerned, you won't be grinding it into dust like you will the N64 controller.
Oh yeah, I think the N64 controller, you know, some of those games actually revolved around that circle mechanic where you're going as fast as you can, like a washcloth. I think in retrospect, if they were to release the N64 in those games now, they would probably have to have like a Nintendo brand breathing mask just so that while your controller's turning into actual dust, you don't have a sickness from it.
So I put way too many hours into Mario Party 1, so you can probably still see the scars that the joystick left me. Because like half the mini games in that game require rotating the joystick.
You know, if I were a hiring manager at Nintendo, I think that would be the interview process. There would be nothing on paper. You would just have to submit your hands for review, and I would be looking for blistered, built-up area around the middle of the thumb, and a huge spot of missing flesh in the middle from using the analog sticks on those types of games. If you have both of those, congratulations, welcome to Nintendo worldwide.
So you could never be a hand model like George and make it. We got you.
Oh, I could. I would use the other hand for that, you see. That would be the one that I always put lotion on.
But they require both your hands for the hand modeling.
There's Photoshop. Just copy and horizontally reverse.
Are you kidding me? It's like you'd almost think that, once one hand gets raw, you'd have to use the other hand for a little while.
I have had to do that for Mario
Exactly.
Party.
So you're gonna have both hands ruined anyway.
Just
Mario
put,
Party is serious business.
what you need to do is find the true purpose to the Nintendo Power Glove, and that is to act as a protectant for your hand for doing spiral motions. He's chewing on it.
So, I'm once again going to bring up the fact that long ago you said you would use a DDR dance pad to play League of Legends with, and I'm still waiting for that.
I came close. Hidden spike trap.
Tablet. Drawing tablet.
Not the same thing. I want to see the DDR pad.
I arted myself into a successful loop of playing Vlad in League of Legends with a Wacom drawing tablet, and it worked okay-ish.
I'm sure you played better than some of the teammates we got, so I mean...
This is true, but we always had the most fun in that game, just goofing off, doing stupid stuff. I don't think we fit in with the angry crowd. So Smash Brothers. I hate you guys. I hate you guys for holding me to having to buy this game because I want to play Simon, I want to play Richter, and I want to chain you people to death. I love you to death, but I want to chain you.
So we're just going to have like 8 Simon Belmonts when we play, right?
Well, I'm gonna have to play him because Whip.
7 of those Simon Belmonts are going to be me. I like how you guys got zoomed.
Oh God.
We've been zoomed.
Zoom.
Zoom.
No, nobody remembers Zoom.
So it looks like Mila, perhaps, left. Mila, are you there? That's what happened.
Maybe a connection issue.
So Mila got disconnected from the call. Was there anything else on on Smash to cover.
There's a lot of little things.
You guys might want to lean and readjust as we...
Yeah, we are. That's why I'm letting her move over while she talks.
Here, let me.
Oh my god. That's
Okay, I
That's
guess this is
picture
just how it's gonna
material.
have to be for the moment.
just
So,
just what we're served.
What?
What?
So yeah, like, I don't know. There's a lot of little things. I'm just, with the new Smash, you're even gonna be able to use it as a goddamn music player with the amount of music they're adding.
Yeah, roughly 900 songs.
Think about all... Do you think maybe they added these songs knowing in the back of their minds that this is so much ad revenue they're going to get from poor unsuspecting victims on YouTube?
It's possible. They've already come out and said that you can carry your Switch around and use it like an iPod or whatnot and just play the music. They've even let you make customized music lists of Smash music.
Yeah.
I am happy. It seems to be a trend in video game development these days where large collections of music are coming in with each game. Like the Fallout, we're getting a ton of music in there. Smash, we're getting a ton of music in there.
Yeah, I absolutely love that because, yeah, you have to have the game on essentially to be listening to the music, and that's perfectly okay. But it's like getting to have access to all of it is just fantastic without having you're paying the price of the game, and you actually get the soundtrack within the game. Because beforehand
Yep.
you'd have some games would give you sound tests and such, and some wouldn't. But I loved a lot of RPGs would give their full track sound tests, and I liked that, and I wish more games would do that. So it's nice to see that a lot of them are adding that sort of feature.
I like it in the games particularly because I'm a fan of a lot of the music, but it's the kind of music I wouldn't listen to out in the world. So I would never go out of my way and buy like the OST. I know a lot of people do. It's just not me. I think the last OST I actually bought was the Transistor one for obvious reasons.
Of course.
Of course. So any final comments on Smash from you, Utility Man?
I mean, if I kept going, we probably have another couple hours worth. We got to cut it off sometime.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm looking forward to it quite a lot. The Fallout information we covered today, some of it's iffy, some of it's kind of but there's also some really good stuff there. I like the way the perk system looks. So look forward to seeing us play that when the beta comes out mid-October. Hopefully we'll all be jumping on the beta that are able to. And again, I am Frosthaven. Mila has dropped from the call, probably to go wait in line for the Smash release. I imagine those lines are long enough to start lining up now.
I would.
You would, but I'm forcing you to stay.
Pichu sucks.
Pichu sucks. You're saying that just because she's not here to defend herself.
I was going to say that whether she was here or not. It just so
Okay.
happens that she's not.
We have evidence you like to take advantage of people that can't defend themselves. So that's what I'm going to go with on this topic.
This is true.
You're not allowed to do that. I have PvP turned off for that too.
So I am Frosthaven. That was Mila, a.k.a. Dragon Mom, from our Discord you were seeing and discussing with earlier to my right. And then, of course, down in the bottom right, we've got the Utility Man and Hidden Spy Trap, all with Fortis Core on today's show.
Yes, hi, thank you. Bye.
So come on in and join us in our Discord. That's discord.fortiscoregaming.com. Keep up with our tweets at FortisCore. And you can support us in multiple ways. The primary ways to support us are to subscribe to us on our Twitch account, which is twitch.com/FortisCore, of course. If you don't want to do that, you can hit us up on Patreon to help us out in a more intimate way. Buy us a beer, perhaps, maybe two. And that is Warp Stage 3 on Patreon, as they're whispering very ominous things to each other.
She is just pretending to talk.
And if you don't want to throw any money our way, we are perfectly fine with that. Just come in and say hi on our Discord channel as well. So from all of us at Warp Stage 3, we hope you all have a fantastic night, and we hope to see you in both Fallout 76 and the new Smash when it comes up.
Bye.
Wanted murderer! Wanted murderer!